I'm on 21. Now I'm on 21. 21. Donald Trump, real estate mogul. Definitely real estate mogul, worth $12 billion. You don't become that wealthy and not know what you're doing. So Donald Trump, you know what you're doing. As far as I'm concerned, you're hired. We need you. The United States needs Donald Trump in the 2016 presidency. Donald Trump is doing the United States a favor. He is choking down. He's choking down in pay to become the United States president, so that he can correct a lot of things like exports to come into the United States aren't charged a damn thing. They're they aren't charged. They're not penalized. And they're not taxed. They're not taxed a damn thing. It might cost maybe an import fee or something like that, but that's like a shipping charge. Now, when the United States ships outside the United States, we get taxed, we get penalized, we get export fees. It's not feasible. It's just not feasible to live in the United States and ship outside the United States. Why do you think Ford Motor Company, one of the top motor companies, is moving to Mexico? And they shouldn't have done that, because if Donald Trump is president, well, I can't say if, he's going to be president. Donald Trump is going to be United States presidency. He's going to be president. And once Donald Trump is in presidency, he's going to stop that shit. He's going to charge incoming fees, from Mexico and from Japan and China and Russia and all the other countries. Anybody who ships to the United States is going to get the same thing as what we do. We pay import fees, we pay tax fees, we pay penalties, we pay up the yin and yang, we pay up the ass in fees to ship outside the United States, especially a car like Ford. Why do you think Ford's moving? They got the most expensive motor company going to be built, or in the process of being built. $5 billion company, which is the most expensive company ever, as far as car makers go. And why do you think Detroit's the way it is? Hell, Detroit's so fucking vacant and people don't want to live there. Hell, if I wanted a house, got $1,000, move to Detroit. They're a dime a dozen. A house is a dime a dozen in Detroit. The motor company of the world. Motor company of the world. Houses are dime a dozen. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Why do you think Ford is moving to Mexico and then shipping the cars back to the United States and selling them to us, the people? They can do it cheaper that way. Cars go down. Car prices go down. They'll go way down. But not if it's correct, though. Not if that little, coming in the United States from Mexico, Japan, Canada, China, they can all ship here free. Why? And this is why Donald Trump says that the Mexicans will pay for the wall. They have to. They have to pay for the wall. Between Mexico and the United States, they'll have to, because they're going to be taxed just like we're taxed when we ship to Mexico. We're taxed import fees and all this and that fees, red tape. Whenever we ship to Mexico, we pay high charges. Where Mexico can ship to the United States all day long and not have them. See, now if there's a tax, just like the United States shipping to Mexico, if there's a tax coming out of Mexico, hey, guess what? They just pay for the wall, bud. And that's exactly what Donald Trump is saying. All you gotta do is listen to the genius. All you gotta do is listen to the genius, the big D, Donald Trump. And you understand why I'm saying Donald Trump is the only candidate that should be running. Everybody else, they should concede. They should concede right now. The other 20 candidates, or 19 candidates, because that one dude ain't running yet. This one, John Kusher. He ain't running yet, but when he is, if he does decide to run, which would be stupid, and you don't know what you're doing, and you're fired, That's the Ohio governor. Um, if he decides to run, that's stupid. But all these other candidates, these other clowns that are running, all these other clowns and clownettes, clownette there and clownette there, that are running for the money. That's what they're running for. They're all running for the money. On the other hand, Donald Trump is not running for the money. He's running to correct things, and he's choking down to become president. He ain't making more money. He's making less money. And he gave up that printer. His show is very popular show, The Apprentice. The Apprentice. He gave that up so he can help the United States out. He's not in it for the money. We don't even have to worry about him about the money. We don't. He's not in it for the money. All these other clowns and clownettes, they're in it for the money. Vote for the Big D. Vote for Donald Trump. You're hired. You're hired, Donald Trump. Ain't no way in hell I'd fire you. I'd keep you in there over 8 years. I'd change that amendment. I'd change that amendment, the 2 and 2, the 22nd Amendment. I'd change that where he can run more than 4 years. I would change that, like Ronald Reagan says. Like Ronald Reagan said, why not have the American people vote for whoever the hell they want? Ronald Reagan says that's a bogus law, where you can only run for 2 terms, which is 8 years. Actually, the Constitution actually states that you can only be elected by the people in the presidency 2 times, which each term is 4 years. So that's 8 years. But there's a but in there. In the 22nd Amendment, just look it up. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. Everything I say, you can look up on the internet. And you can look up our Constitution and see your constitutional rights. And this amendment I'm telling you, the 22nd Amendment, which states that no president can be elected by the people more than, through vote, more than 2 times, 2 terms. But there's a but in there. But a president can run for 10 years. See, that's 2 years over. That's 2 years over 2 terms. And the way that can happen is like with Richard Nixon when he resigned. When Richard Nixon resigned and gave presidents to the vice president, which always happened, if Ford went in there and had 2 years left, that'd be 2 years. But he wasn't elected by the people. Okay, Gerald Ford wasn't elected by the people, so he served 2 years under conditions. Under a condition, like president dies, president resigns, president gets what do you call it? Impeached. If he gets impeached, but for a president to leave office because of impeachment, he has to be impeached twice. Once by the Senate and once by the law, by the regular law. Once he's impeached by those 2 laws, then he has to leave office. Like with Bill Clinton. And another guy the other president was impeached. There was only been 2 presidents that's been impeached, and that's the other guy, forget the name, but and Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was fully and unconditionally he was impeached on 2 counts. On 2 counts. The other president was only 1 count. And so, like I said, if something weird happens, like when Richard Nixon resigned and gave presidency to Gerald Ford, and say there was 2 years left, he served the 2 years. He wasn't in office because of our vote. So that's how you can become president for 10 years. And there's only been one other president that served four terms. And his 4th term, he only was in for 6 months because he died. He died in office. I forget the names of that. I don't have the paper in front of me, so I can't tell you. But I told you in a previous video because I had the paper in front of me. But that's the only way you can serve 10 years in the United States. And another law in the Constitution that needs to be changed is the law where you have to be born in the United States. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger would make the best vice president ever, just like Donald Trump will make the best president ever. So that'd be the greatest tombstone, that'd be the greatest ticket, that'd be the greatest thing to happen to the United States of America, is have Donald Trump in as president and have Arnold Schwarzenegger as vice president because he can do that. The only office Arnold Schwarzenegger can't run for is president because he wasn't born. He wasn't born in the United States. He was born in Austria. But Arnold Schwarzenegger is the American dream. He lives the American dream. He is the American dream. Okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the American dream. But he was born in Austria. So we got to change those two. We got to change those two constitutional laws. The 22nd Amendment that says the president can only be voted in by the people, for the people, for 2 terms. 2 terms. That gets the Democrats and the Republicans 2 terms. We need to change that so that the people can vote like Ronald Reagan says. If the people want him in and they vote him in, then why can't he run for 20 terms? Why can't he? That's what Reagan says, and I stand by what Reagan says. I stand firmly on what Reagan says. No backbone whatsoever. I mean a total backbone. No flexible backbone whatsoever. It's a total backbone. I believe in what Ronald Reagan said. If we vote someone in, why can't they stay in there for 20 terms? That's a constitutional right. They're taking away a constitutional right by the 22nd Amendment. They're taking away a constitutional right which we have. And then that thing being born in the United States, that's just a ridiculous law. That was for when we went against the British. You know, the British are coming. The British are coming. The British are coming. You know, we were totally against the British. We were totally against them. So we want to make sure a Britain would not be a president, a United States president. We made sure by putting this in law. You have to be born in the United States. Now, that's a silly law. That's a silly law from day one because what do we do? What do we do to get presidents in office? We vote for them. If we see a Britainer running for president and we vote for him in, then that's on us. We're stupid. We're stupid and we don't know what we're doing. You know, that's just common sense. That law you have to be born in the United States. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. It should be changed, and Arnold Schwarzenegger should be able to run for president. It's a bullshit law. It should not even be on our books. It shouldn't even be on our books. That's just a bullshit law. Because we vote our presidents in. If we vote a Britisher in, hey, that's on us. That's on us. We the people, we're stupid and we don't know what we're doing. Like Donald Trump keeps saying, I love that phrase. You're stupid and we don't know what we're doing. What you're doing. I say it's stupid. You're stupid and you don't know what you're doing. That's what Donald Trump says for the United States government. Period. But you're stupid and you don't know what you're doing. But that's all I got to say. And I say you're hired, Donald Trump. You are hired, and you are going to stay in office. We aren't getting rid of you. You're golden. You're golden. You make things golden. You are golden. Today is 7/25/2015, and same time, same channel, same bat time, same bat channel. See that?